What's going on, everybody? Jonathan Reina here. Welcome back to the Passion Blade YouTube channel. You guys, the day is finally upon us where we're going to be parting out my 2008 Suzuki SV650SFA. It's a very sad day. Didn't really want it to come, but unfortunately I have way too many projects on my hands and this is the one that has to go. Now, a little backstory on this bike before we get started. I picked this bike up December 5th of 2020 and it was originally intended to be a parts bike, but I kind of fell in love with it. It actually has all of the parts on it that I would want to do to my other 2008 Suzuki SV650S, but don't really want to do because I kind of want to keep this bike stock. It's very low mileage and it's very clean, and I kind of just want to keep it like that and enjoy it for what it is. Other than that though, this was supposed to be like a beater bike and have all the parts on it that I'd want to do to this bike and just keep the miles off of my other bike. But unfortunately, I just have too many projects on my hands. I don't really have the time for the full restoration like that I wanted to do on this bike, and it's just been sitting here collecting dust. So instead of letting it sit around collect dust, I figured I'd go ahead, part it out. It would help my business out significantly. It'll help the SV community out. And also a couple parts from this bike will actually be going back to my SV650, which is gonna be the lower fairings and the rear seat delete. So other than that though, guys, today, like I said, we're gonna be parting this bike out. You're gonna see me part this bike out from start to finish. Very fast forwarded, of course, because you guys would not want to sit here for hours just watching me part this bike out. But yeah, I'm very sad, guys, not gonna lie. But anyway, without further ado, let's get today's video started. Alrighty guys, so before we continue this part out, real quick, I've actually found a couple surprises and we're really not even too deep into this thing. And first off, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not realizing this, but this is actually a Cali spec bike, which means that this is a bike that's from either California or another state which has very serious emissions restrictions that requires you to have one, like a charcoal canister that just helps out with emissions. So pretty cool, I guess. I mean, just more parts that I could put up for sale, and very specific parts actually, because not all SVs are like this. This one right here is definitely not like that. And the other little surprise that I found was a little bell. I don't know how I never saw this before, because I've definitely lifted up the seat. As you can see, this bell's definitely had a little bit of bad luck. This is supposed to be a good luck bell. So the story behind these things is that you're supposed to be gifted one, and the bell from the vibrations of the road is supposed to ward off any bad luck that may happen to your bike. Obviously, it doesn't seem to have worked that well because the bike obviously has been dropped before and the bell has taken a small hit. But this is something that I will not put on my other SV because I can't gift this to myself. So if any of you guys want a little bit of a bad luck bell, let me know. And whoever comments saying that they want this, I will definitely send it out to, well, I'll send it out to someone randomly. Whoever decides to comment on this video saying that they do want the bad luck bell, I'll give it a little kiss for a little good luck and I'll send it your way. Anyway, let's get back to this part out. Alrighty guys, I'm getting kind of hungry, I'm a little tired, and I'm really dirty. So, I think I'm gonna call it for today. It's really not that late, it's only 6:30 and it's dark outside. I absolutely hate daylight savings time. End of that rant, but daylight savings time really needs to end. Anyway, I've been here about 3 hours, been here since around 3:30, got a late start on this thing, but we don't really have much work to do tomorrow. All we gotta do is separate the engine from the frame, remove the rear swing arm, rear shock assembly, and the triple tree assembly. But we made some great progress. We got the fairings removed. We got all these fairings removed, the tank, the exhaust, rear subframe, harness, upper fairing, all these other doodads, and the Gixxer front end. So one thing I noticed when I pulled the Gixxer front end off, look at this. Look at this. Somebody look at this. Who did this? Why did you do this? I don't get it, guys. I just don't understand why people do stupid stuff like this, but I'm kind of not too upset about parting this bike out now, because that's something that I would have had to like chop off another one and re-weld it to the frame, and I'm picky about stuff like that, guys. And if I would have been restoring this bike and found that along the way, I would have been a sad boy. So, like I said, we've got maybe like 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work for us tomorrow, but I'm gonna call it this evening, and I'll catch up with you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, it's a new day. Feeling pretty good right now. Got a cup of coffee going on, and we really don't have too much work ahead of ourselves. So, course of action for today, we're gonna go ahead, drop the engine, separate that from the frame. After that, we're gonna go ahead and put everything on the ground, because once you remove the rear shock from the frame and swing arm, everything kind of just collapses. So, we'll go ahead and get the rear shock removed, separate the swing arm from the frame, and then get that triple tree assembly removed, and we'll be good to go. So, let's keep it moving. Well friends, as you can see, my other SV650 is no more. She's been completely dismantled and parted out. So if you were ever curious to see what an SV650 looks like in parts, this is it right here. All the way down to those wheels and tires down there. This is a completely dismantled SV650. Oh, and here's the heartbeat over here. Now, real quick, I'm gonna answer a question that may pop up in the comment section, and that is, John, why did you leave that front exhaust manifold on there? And let me explain why. The second generation Suzuki SV650 engines have a problem where the exhaust manifold bolts are prone to snapping off when you try to remove them, and they snap off in the cylinder head, and it's a bad day for everybody, because either one, I'm gonna have to extract them, or two, I'm gonna have to tell my next customer who buys this engine that they're gonna have to extract them, and that's just usually a bigger headache than what it's worth. So I just usually leave those bolts alone on good running engines like this, and I don't take that gamble. Leave the exhaust manifolds on there, and sometimes it's actually just easier for the next customer who buys this to just install this engine, slip on their exhaust system to the existing headers, and they're good to go. So that's the reason why I did not remove the exhaust manifolds on this engine. Anyway, as you can see, I definitely have my work cut out for me today. All of these parts need to be cleaned up and posted to the website, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys are interested in any of these parts right here, make sure you check out my website, motopartsource.com. I'll make sure I link that in the description below as well. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up for me. Also, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. But until the next time guys, I'll see you then. Peace.